1. Pound cake got its name from its recipe. The early recipes of pound cake called for 1 pound of butter, 1 pound of eggs, and 1 pound of sugar. 2. Most supermarket wasabi is actually horseradish. Real wasabi is challenging to make and expensive. As an alternative, most wasabi for sale is colored horseradish with flavorings. 3. The most expensive pizza in the world costs $12,000. That's because it takes 72 hours to make, and it can only be made in your home by 3 Italian chefs. The pizza is topped with 3 types of caviar, Bufala mozzarella, lobster from Norway and Cilento, and pink Australian sea salt. 4. Ranch dressing is dyed. One ingredient in ranch is titanium dioxide, which is used to make it look whiter. It's the same ingredient that is used in sunscreen and paint for coloring. 5. One fast food burger can have meat from 100 different cows. It sounds like a crazy amount, but the ground beef used to make burgers, both in fast food places and grocery stores, is made of a collection of muscle tissues. 6. Fruit-flavored snacks shine because of car wax. Yep, the same wax that is used on cars, carnauba wax, is the same type of wax that is used to give gummy candy a glossy sheen. 7. Nutmeg is a hallucinogen. If you ingest nutmeg in large doses, it works like a hallucinogen due to a natural compound in it called myristicin. It has mind-altering effects if taken in large doses. 8. Crackers have holes in them for a reason. During the baking process, if the crackers have holes in them, it prevents air bubbles from ruining the product. 9. Ketchup used to be used as a medicine. Back in the early 1800s, people thought tomatoes had medicinal qualities. One doctor claimed they could treat diarrhea and indigestion, so he made a recipe for a type of tomato ketchup which then became a pill. 10. White chocolate isn't chocolate. Its name is deceiving, because white chocolate doesn't have any components of regular chocolate. It's really just a mixture of sugar, milk, vanilla, lecithin, and cocoa butter. 11. Farmed salmon is dyed pink. Wild salmon is naturally pink because of all the shrimp they eat. Meanwhile, farm-raised salmon have a different diet, and end up being white. However, they are fed specific plant pigments to get the same hue of wild salmon. 12. The red food dye for Skittles is made from boiled beetles. A common red food dye, carminic acid, is made from the crushed bodies of a beetle called the Dactylopius coccus. This acid is used in maraschino cherries, strawberry and raspberry-flavored candy, and lipstick. 13. Crackers are worse for your teeth than sugar. Acid is the biggest cause of tooth decay, not sugar. Crackers tend to stick to your teeth, which ends up being a breeding ground for bacteria. 14. Peppers don't actually burn your mouth. There's a chemical in chili peppers called capsaicin that tricks your mouth to feeling like it's being burned. That's why spicy food hurts. The pain is all in your head. 15. American cheese is not American. Processed cheese is thought of as an American product, but it was actually invented in Switzerland. It was created by Walt Gerber and Fritz Stettler in 1911 to lengthen the shelf life before it was shipped overseas. 16. Russia took a long time to classify beer as being alcoholic. Until 2013, beer and other alcohol under 10% ABV was classified as a soft drink. Until then, and even still today, it was common for people to drink beer in the streets and parks as commonly as you would see soda. 17. Cheese is the most stolen food in the world. In fact, it's stolen so much it has its own percentage. About 4% of all cheese made around the globe ends up stolen. There's even a black market for cheese. 18. 1 in 4 hazelnuts end up in Nutella. Nutella is so popular, 25% of all hazelnuts end up in a jar. Since they're in such high demand, some universities are trying to grow them in labs in order to negate global shortages. 19. A corned beef sandwich was smuggled into space. An astronaut snuck a sandwich on his spacecraft for a 6-hour mission. When he took the sandwich out in zero gravity, it started falling apart and he had to put it away before crumbs compromised the spaceship. 20. Certain music can make you drink faster. Researchers had an experiment to see how people's drinking habits changed based on the music that was playing. Loud music seemed to make people drink more, and faster. 21. Chocolate has been used as a currency in ancient civilizations of Mexico and South America. As the Aztecs started dominating Mesoamerica, they also loved cocoa beans which couldn't be grown in their civilization. They had to rely on the Mayans, and traded cocoa beans with them as a system of money. 22. McDonald's sells 2.5 billion hamburgers every year. That equates to 75 McDonald's hamburgers sold every second, every day, or 6.5 million hamburgers each day. 23. You can find peanuts in dynamite. Peanuts have an oil which is used as an ingredient while making glycerol, which is a main component of nitroglycerin. 24. Expiration dates on bottled water have nothing to do with the water. Water can't expire, but the bottle it's in can. Plastic bottles will eventually start leaking chemicals into the water. It won't make the water harmful to drink, but it will make it taste less fresh. 25. Some people are scared of peanut butter. Getting peanut butter stuck to the roof of your mouth is annoying, sure, but to have an irrational fear of it happening is next level. But there's a phobia for everything, and this common occurrence is no exception. 26. Spam wasn't invented in Hawaii. Although Hawaii consumed the most spam per capita than any other state, it was invented in Minnesota. There's even a spam museum in Minnesota. 27. Honey is bee vomit. When bees collect nectar, they drink it and keep it in their stomach. Once they're back at the hive, they regurgitate the nectar into the hive. 28. The Three Musketeers doesn't live up to its name. The famous Three Musketeers candy bar originally had vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate flavors in one. However, during World War II, they changed to only chocolate due to rations. 29. Fruit Loops are all the same flavor. As colorful as they are, you'd think they were flavored accordingly. But no, all Fruit Loops are all the same flavor. 30. There's no answer to how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. It's a heavily debated topic. Exactly how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? It can take anywhere from 144 to 411 licks. However, one study conducted determined the average was 364 licks. 31. In ancient Egyptian days, radishes, onions, and garlic were given to workers as wages. Radishes specifically were because they helped with infectious diseases. 32. In Japan, chefs have to train for over 2 years in order to qualify to serve pufferfish. Pufferfish is a delicacy in Japan, but if it's prepared wrong, it can kill the person eating it. 33. French fries originated in Belgium, not France. They are only called French fries because they are French cut. 34. Twinkie cream isn't cream at all. Although the inside is the best part and we're always excited to get a solid bite of that fluffy goodness, it's actually vegetable shortening. 35. Strawberries are not berries. Technically, berries only have seeds on the inside, a rule which is obviously broken by strawberries. 36. Pineapples have no relation to pine. The name comes from early explorers. When they saw pineapples for the first time, they thought they looked like pine cones, which is how the fruit got its name. 37. No one knows the origin of chocolate chip cookies. There are a few ideas of where this popular recipe came from. One suggests Ruth Wakefield, the creator of chocolate chip cookies, ran out of nuts for ice cream cookies and used chocolate instead. Others suggest chocolate chunks accidentally fell into the mixer, but the true story has never been confirmed. 38. Margherita pizza is named after a queen. When King Umberto I and Queen Margherita visited Naples, they wanted a change from their fancy food and asked for pizza, which was food for the poor back then. The Queen loved the mozzarella pizza so much that it ended up being named after her. 39. Thomas Jefferson made pasta popular in the U.S. Thomas Jefferson is responsible for bringing the first macaroni machine over to the U.S. after spending time in France. He was also the one who introduced mac and cheese to Americans. 40. Cauliflower comes in multiple colors. Although we typically only see white cauliflower, it actually has purple, orange, and green varieties. Orange and purple cauliflowers have higher antioxidants. 41. Lima beans are deadly. Raw lima beans have lethal amounts of cyanide in them. But, if you cook them thoroughly, you'll be just fine. 42. Chickpeas have more names than you think. Chickpeas and garbanzo beans are the same thing, along with Senegali, sessi beans, chana, and Bengal gram. Additionally, they come in red, black, brown, and pale yellow. 43. South African popcorn isn't popcorn. If you visit South Africa and get a craving for popcorn, be careful. In South Africa, it's more common for what they call popcorn to be roasted termites and ants. 44. Not all wine is vegan. With the main ingredient being grapes, you'd think this would be a no-brainer. However, some common ingredients in wine are milk protein, egg white, gelatin, and fish bladder protein. 45. Sweet drinks can cause dementia. It's not quite as drastic as it originally sounds. However, studies have shown that people who drink one or more artificially sweetened drinks per day were almost 3 times more likely to develop dementia. 46. Nutrition labels are in order. If you're reading up on the nutritional label to see if it fits into your diet, it's organized by the ingredients that are used the most. So if you need a good power bar for the gym and you see sugar at the top of the list, it's time to find another source of protein. 47. Bad eggs will float. If you need to test the freshness of your eggs, put them in a glass of cold water. The fresher the egg, the faster it will fall to the bottom. Any eggs that float should be thrown out. 48. Coffee is the main source of antioxidants for Americans. It's no secret Americans drink a lot of coffee, but it's the #1 source where they get their antioxidants. Antioxidants help fight aging and heart disease, but coffee doesn't really have that many of them, we just drink so much of it. You may also like these 10 surprising health benefits of drinking coffee. 49. Ripe cranberries will bounce. If you want to test how ripe your cranberries are, drop them on the ground. Cranberries are nature's bouncy ball, even farmers use this technique to see if their cranberries are ready for shipment. 50. Popsicles were invented by accident. The details are debated, but the general story is that in 1905, an 11-year-old kid left a mixture of soda and water outside in a cup overnight. It froze, and he ate it in the morning. He originally called it an epsicle, his last name was Epperson. When he later had kids, they started calling it Pops, Sickle, and the new name was born.